Good morning and welcome to Daily Devotions with Pastor Joe. I'm Pastor Joe, and for this morning's devotional, we are going to be looking at the story of Elisha once again at 2 Kings chapter 2, verses 19 through 25. It says here in 2 Kings 2:19, and just as a quick heads up, this is the perhaps most gruesome of Elisha's stories, so just so you know. It says in verse 19, And the men of the city said unto Elisha, Behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth, but the water is naught, and the ground barren. Or in other words, the water was no good, and so they couldn't grow any crops. And he said, Bring me a new cruse, and put salt therein, and they brought it to him. And he went forth unto the springs of the waters, and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters, there shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake. And he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. And he turned back, and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria. So it's 2 stories, 2 parts, but they're back to back, and I decided to tie them together for sake of time. So he goes to a city, and the water is no good. It's no good to drink. It's no good for the plants. It's just bad water. And so for some reason, it's killing the water that they come up with. Who knows exactly why? Could have been something that was in the water that just wasn't good for the plants. But he says, bring a new vessel, a new cruse with water and salt. Well, salt. A new cruse, a new vessel with salt. And he takes the salt, sprinkles it in the water, and proclaims something that is supposed to be the word of the Lord. So he's gotten this word from the Lord that the waters would not be bad anymore. And we see this very often with all of the prophets, that whenever they make a proclamation, they tend to like to put some sort of a visual representation of the miracle that's being done. The salt in and of itself wouldn't have fixed the problem with the water, but it was a visual representation of the Lord healing the waters when the salt went in. We spoke last week about being salt and light in the world. If you don't remember that video from Monday of last week, that we are the salt of the world. Well, the salt of the water, trying to heal the wickedness, the dirtiness, the filthiness of it. And he went forth to the spring, he said that, and the waters were healed unto this day, to the day of when it was recorded and written down in the book of 2 Kings. And so the waters were healed from causing death in barren land. They were healed from whatever was causing the sickness, whether it was whatever chemical was in the water from the ground, whatever mineral or substance was in the ground that was making the water not good, would make the people most likely sick. The land wouldn't grow crops, bad stuff. From this day forward, it doesn't do that. So God fixed or removed whatever was causing the problem. And then he went to the city of Bethel. And this is the more gruesome and sort of sad part in the story. But we see little children, it says, out of the city of Bethel. So there's these kids that come out, running out, and they begin making fun of him, picking fun of him, mocking him. It's not lightly mocking him. They're saying, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. This is because Elisha is a less hairy man than Elijah, and so they're making fun of him, making fun of his story, making fun of what the Lord had done for Elijah and Elisha in Elisha's life, basically mocking him and saying that he didn't really see what he saw, and if he did, go up, go up, go up. You go up too. You do what Elijah did, or else maybe even saying, we don't want you, we want Elijah back, you go up. But they were making fun of what he said the Lord had done. And so it's not just that they were making fun of Elisha himself. They were mocking God. And so he puts a curse, he curses them in the name of the Lord. He says that whatever he says to them, I don't know if he says that they're going to die for what they did or what he says. But 2 mama bears come out of the woods, and they tear apart 42 of the children. And that's the end of them. They're no longer making fun of Elijah, or God at that point. And then he travels some more. He goes from there to Mount Carmel, which is where the altar of the Lord had been, that Elijah had repaired. And most likely he made a sacrifice or an offering there. And from there he went to Samaria. So that's another little branch of the story of Elisha. It's his first real miracle outside of parting the waters of Jericho, is now curing the waters in this city here. And let me pull up 2 Kings. And so I can just pull up. I don't know if I missed that verse. 2 Kings 2. We were at verse 19 here. And he told them not to go. This was when he was saying, from the last story last week, this is where he was staying there, waiting on them. He tarried at Jericho. So the waters of Jericho were cursed. So that's pretty interesting. So it was Jericho where he healed the waters from the brook, from the bad water. So anyway, it's been good to hear another little bit of what happened in Elisha's life. Once again, he's just one of the many prophets that God really used in a mighty way. He's going to be doing much more important and much less painful and sad things in the rest of his ministry going forward. But he healed the waters, and then whenever these children were mocking him, God and Elijah, he cursed them, and God sent 2 mama bears out to get rid of the children. So any comments, questions, thoughts, put them down in the comment section below. Have a great day in the Lord. I'll see you again tomorrow for another daily devotion with Pastor Joe. God bless, and have a great day.